Next, we will hear from Osaka Prefectural Jyoto Technological High School, presenting on the improvement of the quality of vocational and manufacturing education in Egypt and Japan and the promotion of mutual understanding. Mr. Hitoshi Tanabe, a teacher at Jyoto Technological High School, will give the presentation. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm going to talk about the efforts to improve the quality of vocational education in Egypt and Japan and the promotion of mutual understanding. My name is Hitoshi Tanabe. I'm a teacher at Jyoto Technology High School in Osaka. Nice to meet you all. So the school I am working for is located in the eastern part of Osaka Prefecture, in Higashi Osaka City. Some of you may know, but this is an area known for its concentration of small businesses. It's like Ota Ward in Tokyo. And because of this sort of environment, we are dedicated to providing hands-on manufacturing education closely connected to the local community. And we develop leaders for the factories nearby. And this is my agenda, and I'd like to talk about these four topics. First of all, why I came to be associated with this project. So we had an exchange with El Arabi High School in Egypt. And as you can see over here, this is a new school. It was established in 2018. This is a new school. And it's quite rare for a Japanese public school to have sort of international experience and exchange, but this is actually managed by both government and the private sector. And the students are learning at Arabi High School. Students spend 2 days a week working at a factory nearby where they acquire hands-on technical skills. And for other weekdays, they learn at the school. And many of those graduates will find job, those factories nearby. So why our school came to be associated with this high school, and I think many of you have this kind of question. I was often asked why you had this opportunity. Actually, it started with the one of my colleagues who was senior to me, and he retired my high school, and then he actually called me one day, and it was during the pandemic period. He was assigned to go to El Arabi High School in Egypt as part of JICA program. And he called me whether I'm going to be interested in those exchanges. And then we talked about what kind of exchanges we should have, and we had an online chat with our counterparts in Egypt. And because this is a new school, they asked about our curriculum in Japan, and also what kind of hands-on practice equipment or what kind of teaching, training we are providing to our students, and how to evaluate students. So these are the three topics that they wanted to ask for us. And of course, we're so much interested in what they were doing in Egypt. So these are the topics we're going to discuss. And also, since we have these precious opportunities of exchanges, I think we should involve our students as well. And they responded pretty well. So actually, there are four areas of cooperation or exchanges between our schools. So as you can see on the screen, we shared the teaching guidelines, syllabi, we shared that information, and we exchanged opinions online. And what is particular to this kind of cooperation was that Egypt, with regards to evaluation of skills and technology, they focused on how well the students are familiarized with equipment or the process. But in Japan, we have actually 3 different criteria for evaluation. And that's actually what I talked about to them. So I took an example of line tracing robot. For example, there's a motor. So how the motor rotates and for the computer, what are the coding? So these are the sort of knowledge or skills that we can actually test students for their knowledge acquisition. But for example, for line tracing robot, they need to code and they need to actually really work on them so that they can move. So this is actually an activity that they should apply their knowledge, what they learned into practice. And that's what we're going to evaluate. And also, they have to think about better ways to move those robots more efficiently. So these are the things that we try to see in students' development, and this is part of evaluation. So that's what I told them during the online discussion. So in reviewing our discussions, there was a talk that we should really go see, our students are responding to in the classroom. So we really want to observe what they have done, what they are doing, because Egypt is a faraway country from Japan. There's a long distance. So we really wanted to do that online, and that's actually how we did. So this is actually the video that we recorded for the online observation. It's really hard to see, but electrical wiring class is what we did for that day in Japan. So Egyptian teachers were saying that the workplace was really tidy and organized, and I think that's what is part of the teaching process or part of education in Japan. And also we had exchanges between students, and that's actually what we wanted from Japan side, because we really want to encourage our students to exchange internationally, to have experience of international exchanges. We want to invite Egyptian teachers and students. But this year we actually changed the format, because many graduates of our high school find a job at factories nearby, and after 3 or 4 years, since they found a job, many graduates actually go overseas to work factories or plants overseas. And we have one alumni, Mr. Isugai, who spent long years, many years in overseas working for plants for overseas companies. And actually, this is from the perspective of one Japanese, and we asked Hara Sensei to give us a lecture. We asked Ediport for assistance. He was a teacher who used to be teaching one of the Japanese school in Egypt. So through these programs, we promoted international exchanges. This is one student explaining how to do line tracing. And this is a photo where one student in EJS, LRB High School, explaining water dispenser that they developed. Now, for summary, we have some feedback coming from students. Our students were so much excited participating in these programs. And for Egyptian students, we have some feedback that the Japanese manufacturing education, they understand the concept. They gained insight, they gained information about how Japanese educating school children's students about manufacturing. And also, they were so much impressed that what they have learned was really useful for students overseas. And going forward, we have received so much support, so much assistance from so many organizations. And with this kind of support, we would like to continue our program. And although I talked much about Egypt, I've never been to Egypt. And also our students have never been to Egypt. So we really like to go to Egypt someday with our students. So my students are actually frustrating because I'm such a long talker. And I'm sorry I'm eating into your break time, but that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tanabe.